Wavelength Radio presents Happy Hour with Cameron Cooper.
All right. Thank you for being here. This is Cameron Cooper with Happy Hour. Sit back, take your shoes off, listen and enjoy the music that you hear and the content that you hear on Happy Hour. Brought to you by Wavelength Radio. You can email us at coolwavepick@gmail.com. I will have my own personal email for you here in the very near future, and you can email me right here while I'm online with you. Right now, these are going to the producer, and he will forward those to me. Getting back to the program here, glad that you are listening to us. I just want to talk a little bit about some of the things that piss me off. One of the things that pisses me off is like when I'm doing a transaction, and I'm not going to say where I work at, but when I'm doing a transaction, one of the things that pisses me off is that someone will, I'll say, that's $15. All right, someone will hand me up an unorganized wad of stinky, wet cash in a ball, and then I have to unwind it, and I have to put it into each register. If you've ever done any cashiering, God forbid, but each register has a slot. You've got a place for your 20s, you've got a place for your 10s, place for your 5s, place for your 1s, your quarters, your dimes, your nickels, and all those things, right? All right, so I have to take this money, unwad it, and it's an uncomfortable situation. That's all I can say. The next thing that pisses me off is that when I ask you for your ID, I say, can I see your ID or your driver's license? Now, once again, I'm not going to tell you where I work at, but in my job performance, I need to ask you for these things. That's just part of the job. And part of your job, being a customer, is you need to provide me with your driver's license or your ID that's officially issued. And I'll even accept something from another country. If it's a Mexican issued ID or a Russian issued ID, I will accept that. But I do need to have an ID. Now, when I ask you for this ID, I don't really expect you to dig around in your wallet and your surrounding environment looking for this piece of document that I've asked you for. I've simply asked you for your ID or your driver's license. Now, you would think that if you're driving your vehicle and I ask you for your driver's license, you ought to pretty well know where that's at, and you have easy access to it. But why would you dig around in your wallet, in other compartments of your vehicle? Okay, it's your car. All right, the cat's out of the bag. It's in your car. Where is it in your car? Is it in your medium little compartment thing there between the seats? Is it in your wallet? Is it in your where is it? It's not somewhere where you can just whip it out. Where's my ID? There it is. Or tell me that I left my wallet at home. I left it at home. I forgot it. It's at my house. It's at my house. Why is it at your house? I have not left my wallet or my ID or my driver's license, which is in my wallet, by the way. I have not left it anywhere besides with my person where I'm going, anywhere in 30 years. No, seriously. Maybe one time, okay, in 30 years. Maybe once or twice, all right? But guarantee you, once or twice, that has always been with my person. How can you go anywhere and not have that? I don't know. But that really frustrates the hell out of me. And if you think that wouldn't frustrate you, then do my job. That's all I can say. Now, another thing that pisses me off is when you lie to me. Now, I'm not talking about white lies, because everybody has white lies. You know, you do those little protective lies. You know, it's like, well, you know, I'm sorry I forgot your birthday, but maybe you did forget the birthday, but you know, you're doing something else, or whatever. You know, these little white lies kind of things where you protect someone's feelings. But when you just blatantly lie in any kind of a situation, in the general public, especially, it's like trying to get something over on whoever. It's an establishment. Why do you have to lie? You know, if I tell you it's $15, it's $15. Don't tell me you left your wallet at home when you probably have your wallet, or tell me that you don't have your ID that you left. Whatever. I'm tired of the lies. I'm tired of the lies. We'll come back to this topic or some other topic in just a moment, but please stay tuned for not one of our sponsors, but just a little bit of music while we take a quick break.
You're listening to Wavelength Radio from Cool Wave Pictures. Wavelength Radio presents Happy Hour with Cameron Cooper.
A lot of you people in Phoenix, I don't know about these other states and other counties and people that are listening, but we actually have this new curfew, or that's not the right word, but some legislation, all right, we have where you cannot smoke in public at an establishment inside, and I believe it's even incorporated into the bars. Not just bar restaurants, but bars. All right, so if you're in a bar where you go and you smoke and you drink, you're not allowed to smoke inside anymore. And you have to be, 10 feet? No, 20 feet I think it is. 25 feet from an entrance or doorway or what have you of this establishment. And now, we have had this in the Phoenix area. We have had this issue come up many times in my 30 years I've been here. We've had this issue come up so many times, and it comes up, and like it is right now, it's on the forefront, and they've posted their signs, and and everybody's like, you know, forefronting it and making it an issue and things like these. But now eventually it will turn back around and they will change the legislation. And I don't really know how these people get these things going. I mean, because number one, if you're in a bar and someone's cigarette smoke is bothering you, then leave the bar. It's like, just leave. If you can drink an alcoholic beverage and not have a cigarette, not have a cigar that you can puff on and not inhale, not chew some tobacco. I don't know. It's like, number one is the smoke, and the whole connotation of this whole law or legislation is that it's not healthy for me, right? Well, if you're in a bar and you're drinking alcohol, well, how healthy is that for you? All right? So, you know, why take away that other little bit of unhealthiness from us people that like to smoke and drink? Why take it away? It's like, it's just a cigarette. Smoke. All right? You don't even have to smoke the frickin' cigarette. You just have to be in the same room with a little bit of aftermath. It's like, just blow it away. I mean, if I'm blowing smoke in your face, tell me to stop that. You know, if I'm in your immediate vicinity and my cigarette smoke is drifting your way, tell me that it bothers you, and I will, you know, point the fan the other way. I'll do something. I will not be offensive to you, though. Just give me a common courtesy. But where do we get off taking something that is basically something that, you know, our country and high financial companies have promoted for years? Now, granted, they've had their legislation, not legislation, but legislation and lawsuits, and they've had to pay large sums of money. But in this day and age, though, I mean, if I choose to smoke, why would you want to ostracize me out of an establishment where people do smoke? It just doesn't make any sense. So I don't know. This pisses me off. But once again, it's sort of hindsight 2020. This is something that's going to turn around and go the other way. Now, not to beat a dead horse, or how's that saying go? Not to beat a dead horse. There's a saying like that, but not to beat a dead horse to death. But we're gonna pick back up either on this topic, or I'll change my subject matter. I don't know. I may have beaten the dead horse. The dead horse. He probably died of emphysema from my cigarette. But but we'll come back to this topic or some other topic in just a moment. But please stay tuned for not one of our sponsors, but just a little bit of music while we take a quick break.
You're listening to Wavelength Radio from Cool Wave Pictures.